Hi everyone, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead, and Maria Tells a Story. And yesterday I missed telling the story, so I'm going to tell two stories today. The first one is going to be about great preparations. I'll record this one first to download, and then I'll record a second one. Now what I'm doing is every other day I'm reading from the Bible Storybook and volume 1 of it. And then the next day I'm either telling a story or I'm just reading a different type of book. So I hope you enjoy this. We are still on part 1, and we are on story 3 of part 1, Great Preparations. As the light of the earth's first day fades into night, remember they had their first day, something strange and wonderful begins to happen. Suddenly, mysteriously, a heavily moisture-laden mist. Do you know what moisture is? Moisture is something that's wet, that has held close to the ocean, begins to rise. So this mist of moisture just begins to rise up. All night and all the next morning it goes up and up until it becomes a beautiful fleecy white covering above the world. Now, have you ever seen anything above our world that looks white and holds a lot of moisture? Yeah, clouds. Between it and the water, there is clear, fresh air, forming our atmosphere, or the firmament, as the Bible calls it. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and it divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above it. And so it was. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Remember, it always starts in the evening. Perhaps you're wondering why God took one whole day of the creation week to make something invisible, like the atmosphere, when he gave one day to make the fish of the sea and another to make the animals. But things are not unimportant just because they can't be seen. The fact is that what God did on the second day was of very great importance. Everything else would depend on it. You see, he was planning to make a beautiful world and fill it with living creatures, and they would need air to breathe, just like you and I do. He planned to make birds of the air too, and they would need air to fly in. Without that, they'd be stuck on the ground. He was also about to make trees and flowers, and he knew that they needed a gas called nitrogen to help them grow. So he mixed it with the oxygen, and he made air. Just the right amount of each, not too much. Had he put too little oxygen, all of his creatures, including people, would have suffocated. Had he put too much, one spark could have set the whole world on fire. God had yet another reason to make air first. It was to divide the waters above, that is the clouds, from the waters under, or the ocean. And that would also include rivers and streams. The air was to be a barrier between them. Without it, raindrops from a mile-high cloud would have hit the earth like machine gun bullets, and the heavy downpour would have just about destroyed everything. How wise it was of God to make the atmosphere first, right after he made light and before he made anything else. Oops, here goes my clock. I'll pause. This just shows how wise God was. And he still is. He knows how to do everything in the right order. And now Earth's second day is ending. The beautiful white cloud is changing color. Shot through with gold, orange, red, purple, it slowly vanishes into darkness as the night draws on. Have you ever seen a sunset? Oh, it's so beautiful. 2 days have gone now, 2 out of 6, and all that can be seen is the ocean and the great endless ocean. No land yet, no living creature, nothing but water. North, south, east, and west, only water. Water, the restless waves rolling on them, on and on and on, to nowhere. In the darkness of the third evening, it seems as though God has done nothing but lift the moisture-laden mist from the ocean. But he knows better. He's not impatient. He is not hurried. He knows that all is now ready for the next great step of creation. Listen, he's speaking again. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together in one place, and let dry land appear." Suddenly, the great ocean begins to boil and seethe. A lot of moving. There's a mighty shaking and shuddering as out of the depths rise the first needle points of land. Swiftly, continents and islands take shape. Mountains and hills move upward as the water drains from their sides. What a night! What a day! As the morning dawns on the third day and light shines through the radiant cloud once more, it reveals no longer only an ocean, but great stretches of dry land. It's a beautiful land with lakes, rivers, waterfalls, and beyond all that is the sea. How wonderful! Yesterday there was only an ocean. Today there is a beautiful world. Now we know for sure that God has a great plan in mind. He is building something, building a home for someone he loves. And there's the picture. So, all right, that was the end of that story 3. Day after tomorrow, we'll be reading story 4, and the title of that is Birthday of a World. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed these ones. And I want to say I love you. I really do. But even more importantly, God loves you, and he always will. So always keep dreaming and keep a story in your heart. Bye-bye.